this is a solid project from Nas. You know what I'm saying? And I always think it's a lazy argument when people say, "Oh, he can't pick beats." You know, because when you go back through Nas's catalog,
we can argue.
There's some solid shit there. Like, it's not any worse. I guess because we compare everything to Illmatic, you know, then we're just going to feel that way. Or because, you know, we try to everyone thinks they're an A&R, or it doesn't fit exactly with the moment,
really is that
the time. Like Lost Tapes. I mean, you know what? You know what? But when I go back and listen to Godson, you know, and he kicks the first single off of Godson was "Made You Look." It's like, how are you going to talk? That beat was ill. You know, you going to talk about "Got Yourself a Gun" or "Ether"? Like, those beats were ill. You know, if you want to even go to
"Got Yourself a Gun"
off his double album, like that beat was ill. Like, how are you going to say Nas can't? I think it's just it's one of those things where people just like saying it. And it seems like the thing to say, and it's not really true.
All right, hold that.
Like, even when you go to "Life Is Good," other than that bullshit that Swizz gave him, that's a solid project.
I agree with that as well.
I'm not going.
That album from top to bottom is straight, except for Swizzy shit
and the piano ballads.
"Summer on Smash."
Swizzy's known to fuck up an album with terrible ad-libs. We know that. I agree 100%. Bradley Spoolz, did you get a chance to run the Nas? I forgot to ask you before we came on. Did you get a chance?
Not all of it so far, but I've listened to the first half of it, I guess, and I like it a lot, man. Sounds dope. Yeah, looking forward to listening to the second half. So I don't know. I agree with some of what Jay Moore was saying, man, as far as like everybody wanting to be an A&R and shit like that. You know what I mean? And like Nas has put out a lot of really good music, man, over the years. Like, dude's incredible. Like, and you know, there are times, I mean, I feel like some of the argument sometimes about the better production, but I don't think it takes away from him like being an absurd lyricist, like an MC. So.
Okay,
I'm
not mad at that, Lone. You seem to be somewhat riled up once the topic of production came in. Is there anything else you'd like to say in terms of?
I mean, we've had this conversation
relates to Nas.
This is episode
lit, by the way.
This is episode 200 straight weeks of this show, and we probably talked about Nas's beats probably 5 to 10 episodes. So I mean,
yeah,
shit, dude. I would say more.
But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there was definitely a time where Mike started the rumor that I hate Nas, and then that just kept going for about a good 50 episodes.
50 or so, yeah.
I don't know, man. Like,
once he get his hands on something, he don't want to look like.
Like, I stand by it, man. Like, Nas does rap over a lot of good beats, but he's got a lot of material. But there's always like a few where I'm like, what was he thinking? And there are some artists that don't ever have any like that. So I don't know. I with Hit-Boy, I thought this project was pretty consistent. I don't think the lows on this project were really all that low. But I'm cool on like the overly piano kind of corny production, tell a story, like, and I know people like that, but like I like when I hear Nas, me personally, my specific favorite Nas stuff, it's like his early stuff where he was like telling stories over grimy beats, like, and he's a little aggressive. I was having a conversation with Metronome today actually about it, and I agreed with him. Like, I like his more aggressive stuff. Like, his voice fits that specific pocket so well. Sometimes it's like, why are you doing this? But, you know, I don't know. This new project I like a lot.
You know what I think a lot of people's criticism of this particular Nas album is, and I think this has been the criticism going back several years for Nas. Does anybody remember when, you know, because I feel like we new old heads and we hip hop nerds in a way, that Scratch magazine where it was Nas and Premier on the cover?
I got it in the other room.
Yeah.
Lone has
it.
Yep.
And I feel like
Lone has it.
So many of us have been waiting on that Nas Premier album, that anything else that comes out that's not that, we're like, man, fuck this record. because we got teased with something that we thought,
Seriously.
okay, this is really going to be it, and we just never got it. So, I mean, nothing against Hit-Boy, but you know, if I want Nas to lock in with one producer, is DJ Premier. That's the record I want. I feel like but I feel like Premier's done that with Royce the 5'9" a couple times at this point.
And I think
too.
I don't.
A lot of Fool's Gold, because if you look at all their covers, it's always some immaculate situation or pair that's supposed to go down. Never freaking happens. Or if it does happen, it comes out super late. Like they had the
Pete Rock would be better than Premier, I think.
Pete,
now
that would be dope.
like right now, like I don't know.
Like
To
when
me,
I listen to Pete's Instrumentals too, and you know, I'm thinking, man, some of this stuff could have been reworked into records for Nas. I'm like, but you know, that's me.
Yeah,
Pete Rock and Smoke
for
Dizzle
sure.
was fire. Be clear.
That's what I mean. Like Pete is like, you know, like this is also like 15 years after that Scratch magazine came out. Like Premier,
Yeah, like
Premier
Scratch Magazine's
style.
been going for how long?
Yeah, for a long time. But I don't know if like in 2020, 2021, I would still probably like it, but I don't think it's going to hit the same like if it dropped in like 2005.
Yeah,
I think it hits for the purist. Like if Nas and Primo drop the album in 2 months, I can't wait to hear it. But
No, I'd be curious too, don't get me wrong, but
for the masses, to your point, I don't know if the anticipation or how well it would be quote unquote received if that was to be released. That I don't know, with it being 2020, and I get where you're going, but from a purist standpoint, like I would be hyped. Like the nerd would be hyped.
Nas has hidden at a secret project, something else is coming out. So
Yeah, I saw that too.
maybe that's it. Probably not, but maybe.
It's gonna be Lost Tapes 3.
Oh shit.
Lord, no! Please don't do Lost Tapes 3. I'm cool. I'm cool on Lost Tapes.
Did you guys hear what he said about working with Kanye on that Nasir?
Yeah, that it was pretty much he said what everybody thought, that it was rushed.
Yep.
Oh, really? I didn't see that article.
That
don't
project
say.
next week.
The album that
was
came out
was
a week
working
after
on
the other
other
album
shit at
came
the
out.
same time.
Yeah. All those albums,
Would you say, Spool?
except for probably Push's and Tiana Taylor's.
Yeah.
Spool, you said he was working on something else while he was working with
He
Nas.
was working on
He's working on all
Cuddy's
the
album,
records.
Tiana Taylor's album, his own album, and like the Nas album was done extremely fast.
Yeah.
Sounded like it was. I thought that Nas album, that Nasir was definitely mid grade. The 𝐀𝐁 𝗢𝗋 was dope though. I ain't gonna lie, I like that.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/bringingdowntheband and join our private Discord community with talks on hip hop, music, news, and everything else. Links in the description below.